Hello, everyone. Welcome back to a Free Society podcast. My name is Hadiza, and I'm so glad to have you guys here for another episode. How has 2023 been treating you guys so far? I looked at my calendar, just had a glance at my calendar today, and I saw that the date was 18th. And I'm like, what the actual hell? It's so amazing the way the new year actually comes and moves so quickly. It's like time just waits for nobody. It comes and it's just going. I'm like 18th. This is like 2 full weeks now into the new year. So I just want to have a little chit chat about some things that have been on my mind since I've been in this new year 2023. Most times when we get into that New Year spirit, it just brings out reverie, like anything is possible. I can achieve all things. I can do all things. The energy is high, as it should be, because it's a new year. And in as much as, people want to cliche it, it doesn't matter, it's just another day. A lot of people didn't make it into that new day, So, of course, the excitement is important and the excitement is necessary. It's absolutely important to celebrate it. But then, after the celebration comes the normalcy of life, comes the problems that have been in the past year following you into the new year, comes your anticipation of what you want the year to be and all of those things. And I feel like personally I've been kind of in a headspace in the past 3 days when I'm just thinking about things I want, things I haven't gotten yet, and things that I wanted in 2022 that I wished, I hoped for, and I even worked for, and I didn't seem to get, and I'm thinking to myself that is that the pattern that 2023 is going to also follow. And I was really in my head this morning, and when I thought about doing this podcast, I'm like, what am I going to say? I don't feel like I'm in a place of inspiration. I don't feel like I'm in a place of even wanting to talk. I don't even know if I want to talk about anything right now, but towards the end of the day, I was still having a moment with myself, because beginning of the year, guys, may we not lie to ourselves. Beginning of the year is straight up billing. You start to think of rent to pay. You start to think of just a whole lot of bills. And almost for me, I have my rent to pay this beginning of the year, and the way my financial situation has been set up, guys, I don't know how I'm going to do it, to be honest with you. And it's just I've been trying to get my finances in order since last year. I started a new business. I've been doing stuff online and all of that. And as much as I feel so happy and fulfilled about the things that I'm doing, they are bringing me so much joy, but I've not seen the financial gain from it. I used to work in real estate, so I started my own brokerage. I've not really seen the gain from there. And even the online stuff, well, for the online, I can't even talk much about that, because I know that I just started taking that seriously. So it's like planting a seed and expecting planting an apple tree and expecting to go tomorrow and see that a whole tree has sprouted. So I was beginning to have some anxiety, apprehension, God, what am I going to do? Where do I turn to? My mind started thinking about things. Okay, how do I make money? Do I start looking for another job? But I know I told myself that at this point in my life, I don't want to work for anyone again, or I don't want to have to be fully employed by anyone again. I've stepped into the energy of being an entrepreneur and doing things my own way, and I don't want to go back to that energy of having to answer to anybody. And in as much as I believe that 9 to 5 can be amazing when you have amazing opportunities, but I've realized that it's not just for me. It took me a long time to get to this point, but I know that it's not for me anymore, but because of the apprehension of, like I said, bills to be paid, things I want to do, things I want to achieve, I started thinking like, okay, what am I going to do? And I was beginning to overwhelm myself with worry. Even some elements of fear were coming in, and I was kind of finding myself in a desperate headspace. And I had to turn to my source and be like, God, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? I don't want to feel like I'm being pulled on every side by my thoughts. I don't want to feel the pressure of, I'm worrying about this thing, that thing, or the other thing. I want to be at peace. I want to be in the flow. I want to be at one with the infinite source that I know is all and created all. But the question still begs of, how can I be in that flow when I feel like there is internal conflict, internal and external conflict? And I just literally had a word in my spirit, and that word just said gratitude, and I'm just like, okay. I'm just like, okay. And then the thought continued in my head, like, give thanks, even when things are, in fact, the times like this when things actually seem the roughest, these are the times to give thanks. And I was just like, yeah, I know these things. It's not like I don't know them, but it's easier said than done. I know that, yes, it's necessary to give thanks even when it doesn't seem like things are working. But when you're in the thick of things not working, the last thing you're thinking of is giving thanks. But I just made up my mind that from today I'm going to start being so grateful for everything. So grateful, because what else can I do? Really, what else can I do? I can afford to sit down and think. And it's not like I've not been doing it. I've been sitting down, I've been thinking, I've been strategizing, I've been following through with my plans, I've been worrying, all of it, all the whole 9 yards. Yes, I've been doing it. But at the end of the day, I want to be in a headspace where I am at peace, regardless of the turmoil that is going on outside. And the only way I know now to keep myself in that space of peace is gratitude. I stood up from my bed in the moment and I said, Infinite One, I thank you. I thank you that I am alive. I thank you that I'm here on earth. I thank you for everything that is going on in my life, the good, the bad, the ugly. I thank you. I thank you that I have a body that has been carrying me for all these years of my life. I thank you for my health. I thank you for my family. I thank you that I have food on my table. It might not be exactly what I want to eat or the best things in the world to eat, but I thank you for it. I thank you that I have a roof over my head. I thank you that I have a bed to sleep on. I thank you for my clothes. I thank you for even the breath, the air that never runs out. I understand that this infinite source that supplies air, we never run out of air. We breathe. And there is never a time that we take in and it's like, no, air is finished. You have to wait for the next batch to be released. Anytime you want to breathe, air is always there. And I know that this infinite source that created these things, the air, the wind, the water, these things that can never run out, that's the infinite source of abundance that created me too. And I thank you that I'm a part of it. I thank you that I'm a part of it. And I keep going and I keep saying thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And that's all I want to talk about today. I don't know how things are going to turn out. I don't know if 2023 is going to be the best year of my life. I don't know if, all my goals. I'm going to fulfill them. But all I know is that I'm going to keep trying. I'm going to continue to keep my head up, and I'm going to continue to be grateful. I'm going to continue to have a positive outlook regardless of the stuff that are happening around me. I'm going to be in a space of gratitude, and I'm going to continue to hope for the best. So thank you so much to everyone who listens to a Free Society podcast. Next week we're going to be doing a little bit of a Q&A, because this is not just a motivational channel. This channel has a lot of other things to offer, life stories, African stories, my stories, your stories, all of our stories, So from next week we're going to have a little bit of a Q&A session where we'll be answering questions, talking a little bit about relationships, a little bit about life, and I really hope that I will see you in that next episode. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you got something out of this, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.